many questions, and this book made me so unbelievably mad. It's the first time I've thrown my Kindle, not at something hard. I threw it on my bed, but I threw it nonetheless. First off, happy Monday. Welcome back to another reading vlog. You would have just seen a clip of me reading. I was reading, what even is it called? These Vile Secrets by C.E. Ritchie. After reading her newest release, Don't You Dare, I did go through and add quite a few of her other books to my TBR, and I thought I would start with that one. Boy, did I make a mistake. I just want to preface this by saying the blurb of this book really intrigued me, and before you delve into it, it is book one in what is most likely going to be a minimum 5-book series. None of the others have been released yet, despite the end of the book saying that book 2 would be coming out in December of 2021, so I don't actually know if she's continuing on with writing this series. The premise of this book pretty much revolves around a secret society called the Enclave. It's been going on since like medieval times, and it's always been the same 5 families, and it gets passed down generation through generation to the oldest son. So from the time they're pretty much born, they are training and learning everything they need to know to continue this lifestyle before they are initiated when they turn 23. Honestly, sounds pretty cultish to me. I was intrigued though, because the blurb kind of alludes to Roman finding out that everything the Enclave stands for is actually a lie, and so he is really trying to dig into this secret society to find out what exactly is happening right underneath his nose. Do any of his brothers, the other initiates, know what is going on? And of course he's got to fall in love along the way. And I was like, this sounds fantastic. Like, it's an enemies to lovers with a secret society. There's probably going to be some freaky shit going on. I was so keen. If you follow me on Goodreads, you will see that I only rated this book 3 stars, and honestly I kind of wanted to rate it lower, but I did enjoy it for the most part, which is why I gave it 3 stars. This is going to turn into a very spoilery rant review, so if you do not want to be spoiled by this, I'll pop a time somewhere that you can skip to, otherwise feel free to keep watching. This book started so well, honestly. The banter, perfection. Honestly, it was so witty, it was funny. I was in love with both of our characters from the very first chapter, and then everything just kind of crashed and burned. Hale was honestly a dick. I kind of like, as bad as this may sound, I like reading about when one character is kind of mean to the other, but only if it prompts them to realize that they've actually been a dick and they make up and everything ends happily. But Hale was I've never wanted to bitch slap a character so hard in my life. Like, he kept resisting this tension between himself and Roman because they work together. Like, he is training Roman to essentially become his boss. So I understood that. I was like, look, professionalism, we're abiding by it. I'm cool. But then the first 2 times that they engaged in a sexual encounter, he was so cruel to Roman. He brushed him off as nothing more than like a sex toy, like whatever you want to call it. He was absolutely disgusting towards him, and I feel like there was never any apology. There was no apology whatsoever. Roman was just so obsessed with him and like infatuated with him that he got over it, despite how much of an asshole Hale was being. I don't even want to get the exact quote up because I know it's gonna make me mad, but like, the first sexual encounter that they had, blowjob. Hale was on the receiving end. As soon as he's done, like, you see the walls coming back up mentally and emotionally, and he looks at Roman and he's like, if I wanted like a pet to kneel at my feet, I'd get a fucking dog. And I was like, you better watch your mouth, my man. And if I thought that was bad, we all know at this point how much I hate it when a main character uses another character to make their love interest jealous. I don't like it. I'm okay with it if it's completely harmless and like the character knows they will not do anything other than maybe a little flirting because they just want to get their attention, you know? That I'm okay with. If we're going like full on like, oh, I'm gonna hook up with this person just to make my love interest jealous, no. I'm not cool with that. And that is exactly what happened in this book. This whole scene, it was like at the 50% mark, we were going so well, and then this is what derailed this book for me. What was the point? Honestly, it seems almost as if that moment was the shifting point for when Hale turned into a nice guy. Why? There were so many other plot devices or things that could have happened to act as that catalyst in Hale's attitude, but instead I had to read like 3-4 chapters of this shit, and I was not happy about it. I wanted to go to bed, and that made me so stressed that I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning reading the rest of the book. I wasn't very keen on that, if you could tell. And on top of that, like, it's not even a HEA, it's a happy for now, because they're still not really together. I liked the epilogue. So my camera died mid-rant last night, which is probably good because I could have just kept going. That did also mean, however, that I couldn't tell you guys last night about the book that I started, which is Always by Lauren Leigh. I remember seeing this recommended in a Facebook group that I'm a part of, and added it to my TBR and then kind of forgot about it. But like, I read the blurb and I was like, this is the book that I'm gonna read now. I think it would be classified as an NA, like a new adult MLM romance, since it's set in college. I was so drawn in by the blurb because it's a brother's best friend romance set in college, and the brother and the main character don't always get along. They do argue a fair bit, so he's kind of felt like Kepler, who's the best friend, is his brother's friend. Like, his brother has always kind of come between them, so he's been fighting whatever this attraction is to him. But I love the moment that he realizes, because he's had these feelings for such a long time, this pounding in his chest and always staring at certain parts of Kepler, and then one night when they're just standing together, he's like, holy shit, I have a crush on my brother's best friend. It just kind of hit him out of nowhere. I do just want to point out though that this is only a solo point of view novel, as far as I know. How far through this book am I? 31% of the way through this book, and it seems like we're only going to be reading from Jay's point of view, who is the character who's kind of discovering his potential bisexuality, which I'm all for, but it's been a very long time since I've read a lone point of view novel that I feel kind of detached from Kepler. Like, we haven't really created any bonds with him yet. You know, we don't really know anything about him because we're focusing mainly, like, we're reading from Jay's point of view, so of course we're focusing on his feelings on the matter, not really about Kepler as a character. You know, they've had their first kiss and I'm just kind of there like, okay, what's next? I don't know when she got there. I'm still reading Always. I'm 51% of the way through, so 166 pages, and I am still really enjoying it. I'm still feeling that little bit detached from Quinn, but I feel like the more we get to know him, the more that will hopefully change. This is just sitting on my chin. This is a little bit of a slow burn as well, and you can tell that it's a slow burn when one of the characters simply smiling at their future partner is the most exciting thing to happen in the chapter. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's a really good scene, especially because we really don't know that much about Kepler going into this book, and we're still only just now learning things about him, about his character, about his life. But one thing that Jay has made clear throughout this book so far is that something must have happened in Kepler's childhood, because when they were kids and they were all hanging out together, Kepler was always smiling and laughing. And now that they're in college, he's thinking, when was the last time I actually saw him smile and have it be like a genuine full smile? And we just reached a chapter where we got one of those smiles, and it's the first time it's happened all book, so loving it. I am living for the drama right now. Happy Wednesday. I ended up finishing Always by Lauren Leigh last night. I didn't update because I think it might have been like 12:30 and I wanted to go to bed. It was really cute, it was sweet. I feel like I've just become accustomed to stories that have a dual point of view now, so when I read one that's only told from the same perspective for the whole book, I just feel disconnected from the other character because I don't know what's going on in their head. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know their thought processes. I've been spoiled. But anyway, I don't know what I want to read next. So I am going to do the old tell Google to give me a random number, and that will decide my next read. So I have 107 books on my TBR. That is only my MLM romance TBR. I have them separated depending on so I can go through what I feel like reading. Random number between 1 and 107. Okay, so the random number Google chose was 17. So let's have a little bit of a look through. It's an N.R. Walker book, which is promising. Okay, so the book it's chosen is The Weight of It All by N.R. Walker. I have gone to read this a couple of times, and every time I've gone to start it, I've stopped. And I think that's just because, who wrote it? Oh, it was The Weight of Everything by Anna Weinhardt. I started reading it, and it's the same kind of premise where you had a character who was overweight and they wanted to lose that weight, and the partner was supposed to be like the gym bro, but it was just toxic. I did not get very far through it. One of the main characters was, I'm shrunk. Because one of the main characters kept mentioning that he knew he was attractive, and because he didn't know the other character's name, he dubbed him Chubby in his head, and that was what he called him all the time. There were so many things about that that just made me not want to read it, and I feel like every time I've gone to read this N.R. Walker book, that book has popped into my mind. Okay, this sounds cute and I want to have faith in it because it's N.R. Walker, but I'm also scared. So it sounds like one of our main characters, Henry, gets dumped by his boyfriend because of his weight, like asshole much. But to try and win his boyfriend back, he joins the gym where he meets Reed, who is a personal trainer, and he's kind of over the whole dating scene because all anyone really seems to care about in his world is perfect body image. So they end up becoming friends because Reed is torturing Henry with dieting and working out, but Henry's also introducing Reed to laughter and just cooking for fun, and the lines may start to blur. And look, the more I talk about it, the more it sounds great, but I'm just scared, but we're gonna download it anyway. The sun's in my face. This book has made me smile so much, and I'm only on page 14. Are you kidding? Good morning. Is it morning still? Just. Happy Thursday. I'm back in the same spot, and I promise I do wear different clothes. I'm just that person though who will wear the same jumper for a week and then change it. We're stuck with this one for now. The fact that it's almost midday and I have done absolutely nothing. Yes, today is my day off of work and I don't really have any work to do. I'm sure I could find something to do, but I don't really want to. But the fact that I woke up before 8 o'clock this morning, stayed in bed till 10:30. What have I done? I finished a book and ate an entire pack of sour straps. Going fabulous, but I also feel crappy for not being productive. Anyway, the finishing a book part was why I booted up the camera. I figured I should update you. I have finished The Weight of It All by N.R. Walker and I loved it. Is it really a surprise? It was an N.R. Walker book. I shouldn't have expected anything different. It was nothing like that Anna Weinhardt book that I was so worried about it being similar to. I feel wrong having ever compared the two of them. This book is definitely a slow burn. There isn't really any actual romance happening until maybe 60-65% of the way through the novel, and even then it is not as spicy as some of N.R. Walker's other books, which I was completely fine with in this case because this was such a sweet and vulnerable book that I was here for everything. Henry and Reed became really good friends almost straight away. The day that they met, they just had such a good relationship from the get-go, and you could really see how it just was slowly progressing into something that little bit more, even if they didn't really realize it. And this was another lone point of view book, which I didn't actually mind that much because I feel like we got to know Reed as a character so well from the beginning that while I would have loved to read from his point of view and see Henry from his point of view and see his feelings developing, I wasn't all that mad about not being able to. But I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it if you are looking to pick up something light and very sweet. What to read next is the question. I think I might delve into Private Charter, also by N.R. Walker, just because almost every book that I've finished recently, that has been one of like the recommended or suggested titles that Kindle pops up for me. Happy Friday. Finally, a change of scenery. I am going to wrap up this vlog while I take my makeup off. These past couple of days, I have just been so tired towards the end of the day. Like, I think on Wednesday, I was asleep at like 9:30. And I'm someone who will normally fall asleep like after 11, so that was very strange for me. You can enjoy the lovely visual that will be me taking my makeup off. Anyway, a bit of a reading update because I think the last thing I updated you on when I started Private Charter by N.R. Walker, I read that. I started that book yesterday and I almost finished it before I had to go to work this morning. I loved it. I'm not done yet, but I already know I'm gonna love it. I literally have like 5 pages to go. I do love it. I'm not going to love it. I do love it. I don't actually think I told you what it was about. So our main character, Stuart, is this very hotshot, like financial actuary thingamabob. And he's getting to the point where his career is so intense that his doctor is actually like, you need to take a vacation now or like you're gonna have a stroke or a heart attack very soon. So he ends up booking this like 12-day charter on a private yacht, and originally he was supposed to be having his like friends with benefits go with him, but then this guy ended up canceling the night before. And so Stuart's like, well shit, I'm gonna be going on this 12-day charter by myself. But then of course he happens to meet the skipper, Foster, and not only is he gorgeous, but he's also a really nice guy as well, and they end up getting along, sometimes too well, if you catch my drift. So much of this book was just like flirty and playful banter between the two of them before they ever actually acted on it. And let me just tell you, that first kiss scene between Foster and Stuart, my word, it had such a build up and it was well worth the wait. But anyway, I'm wrapping this up on a Friday instead of on the weekend, just because I know that I've got a lot of footage and I haven't actually had the chance to edit any of it so far this week, and I have to work on Sunday, so I don't really want to be bombarded by extra footage that I'm filming. But thank you guys so much for watching this weekly vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you next week with another video. Also, let me know in the comments if you're going to be reading any of the books that I mentioned in this vlog. I had quite a few people commenting on last week's one saying that they were delving into those books, and I loved it, so let me know. Anyway, I'll see you next week.